But we're just gonna imbibe that oil, infuse that oil with the peppercorn and the chillies. You can throw everything all over the counter while you're at it as well, you know, just to spice things up a bit. Look at that, beautiful. Like, comment, subscribe, you know the jazz. You know the jazz? You know the drill. You know the drill. Well, let's have a look. Pao Chicken. So, jumped right into that, didn't I? I'm making Pao Chicken, which is probably my favourite dish from Chinese, apart from sesame prawn toast. I'm doing a double serving. The measurements I'm going to be giving are for a single serving, which would feed 2 people, really. 20 minutes ago, you can do it right. You can do it at the beginning, and then while you're making everything else, it'll be fine. But a little bit longer, the better. This is 4 chicken thighs. So the actual recipe would be 2 chicken thighs, decent sized chicken thighs, or breasts. Because we're going to dice this is all diced up quite fine. Breast and thigh, both fine because it's going to cook so quickly and it's in a sauce. You don't really need to worry about the breast drying out. So breast or thigh, whichever you prefer. So I've got 4, but the normal recipe would call for 2. In with your 2 chicken breasts, 2 chicken thighs, diced up or sliced up, depending on how you prefer it, but quite small, and you want to keep it all the same sort of size. In with that, I've got 2 teaspoons of soy sauce, normal, light soy sauce. That's not normal. 2 teaspoons of light soy sauce and 2 teaspoons of cornstarch, corn flour, and a teaspoon of Shaoxing wine, and then a pinch of salt. Mix it all up, put your chicken in there with it, and give it a good knead almost, because that's going to help break that chicken down. It's going to work the salt and the other flavours into it, and it's going to it's like mechanical tenderization. It's like pre-chewing it almost. Give it a good scrunch up, get it all mixed up, then put it to one side, leave it for 20 minutes at least. You can do it for a couple of hours ahead. So put that to one side, that's what that is. Quickly gonna touch on a couple of ingredients that are a bit harder to find than normal. So we've got a Chinkiang vinegar, probably mullered the pronunciation of that, and Shaoxing wine. We've also got, these are Szechuan peppercorns. Now, Chinkiang vinegar and Shaoxing wine used to be quite hard to find. I had to buy them online quite often. If you've got a Chinese or Oriental supermarket specialist shop near you, they'll have it. Tesco's my local Tesco doesn't, but Tesco's in London, I see always has these in stock these days, and there's a couple of different brands of the vinegar and the wine. There's not many things you're going to use them for. I use them a fair bit in stir fries and marinades and stuff, but they last forever because this is wine and this is vinegar, so they'll sit in your cupboard forever. If you really don't want to go out and buy them, because they're not, it's probably like 7, 8 quid a bottle, 5 to 10, probably both about 5 to 10 quid a bottle, depending on where you are. Like I said, they'll last forever, so the actual value per serving is pretty good. But if not, dry sherry and balsamic vinegar are your best substitutes. There is, unfortunately, no substitute for the Szechuan peppercorn. You can leave it out, but then you're not really making Pao Chicken. Everything from all the Szechuan food, that flavour of that pepperiness, it's hard to describe, but these are quite cheap. You can get them online. This brand I can't really recommend, because when you get it, it should look like this. All you want is the red, dried, husky sort of parts. But these are the seeds that are inside the peppercorn husks. And these you don't want. They're not poisonous, you can eat them. They're just not very nice. They're kind of gritty and sandy. So if you don't pull these out and they end up in the dish, it just kind of ruins the whole thing. I've had to go through and pull all these out. A good brand won't have that in. Sometimes you might find that the odd one here and there, it can't be missed. can't be. It'll just get missed in the process of the production line. Same sort of thing with, you get the little twigs, the little berry, the tiny little berries, and that's the seed inside the berry. The little twig that they hang off of will be in there as well sometimes. Best to pull them out again, just because it's not nice to eat. Nothing wrong with eating it, but it's like the stem on rosemary. You don't particularly want it. So I had to go through and see. I mean, I've got quite big fingers, but it's still not easy to pick through. So I've had to pick through and pull them all out. So that's what you don't want. If you get a good brand, or if you know of a good brand, let me know, or a method for sorting the two out. But that's Szechuan peppercorn. So I just got them off of Amazon. Maybe find a different brand. Maybe I was unlucky. Maybe I'm doing them with this Zheng Feng brand. Zheng Feng? I'm withering on these pronunciations. Jumping ahead a bit, right? So, oh, I've missed a thing out. Right. So, got the chicken marinade in. Those are some different ingredients. So, got some Shaoxing wine in with there. We've also got chopped up a decent bunch of spring onions. Obviously, if you're only cooking for 1 or 2, you're only going to need about, say, 3 or 4 decent sized spring onions, chopped into like 2.5, 3 centimetre long sections. Just the white parts and the beginnings of the greens. You don't want the really fibrous bits. And there's a pepper cut up into strips. It's also got 2 big cloves of garlic and a decent sized chunk of ginger, about as much ginger as there is garlic. I've sliced the garlic. Doesn't need to be particularly fancy. Any old hunks, slices, not too big, but not razor thin. And I've grated the ginger because ginger was a bit gnarly. But if you've got some fresh ginger, feel free to just dice that up, slice it and dice it. So got some garlic and ginger to go with those. Chicken's already marinating in that. We're also going to fry the oil. Well, we're going to fry the peppercorns with some crushed chilli. So there's a teaspoon of the Szechuan peppercorns, minus the seeds, and I'm probably going to put about a teaspoon of crushed chilli flakes in here as well. Now, what you should be using is actual dried chillies cut into sort of centimetre slivers, because this should be quite a spicy dish. I'm cooking for some people that don't want it particularly spicy, so I'm going to make a compromise and use chilli flake. But you can leave out the chilli as well if you don't want it spicy. Obviously, this isn't super traditional. The last thing is the sauce. I'm going to make a quick sauce. It's quite a nice, easy sauce, and I really quite like it. I sometimes make this on its own and just put it in a stir fry. So in here, I've already got half a teaspoon of cornflour. I'm going to add a tablespoon. Don't remember, I'm doing double, so you would only want a tablespoon. Now, it should be a tablespoon of honey. I have not got any honey, so I am using dark brown sugar. Just to add a little bit of sweetness there. And then to that, I'm also going to add, you'd want 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. I'm obviously going to be doing 4. Hasn't got to be super exact. And then you want a tablespoon. I'm doing 2 tablespoons of Shaoxing wine. And you want 2, I'm doing 4 tablespoons of the Chinkiang vinegar. So it's kind of a bit sweet and soury, but also spicy and peppery. So this recipe is kind of J. Kenji Lopez alt recipe. It's very similar, with a slight riff on it, a bit here and there. Oh, there is one other ingredient. Peanuts. Or I think it depends. In England, a lot of the time, if you order this from takeaway, it will come with cashew nuts instead of peanuts. Not sure why. So these are just the plain blanched ones that you get with all the baking goods. What we're going to do is we're going to fry those off, roast them off in a bit of oil. Just brown them all over. I'm going to use probably about 50 grams. It's a 100 gram packet. I've used about half of the 100 gram packet. So obviously this can be done ahead of time. I think I've said it a couple of times now. Be careful when you're cooking nuts, they will burn quickly. So, toasted off those peanuts. They're just a nice little blonde, golden brown. Also, I would normally be doing this in my wok, because it's a proper high heat stir fry. So you want it hot and you want it ripping hot. I'm going to use this pan because I ruined the surface, the seasoning on my wok a couple of days ago. So I need to sort that out before I can use it. And also, because I'm cooking a bigger batch, the wider pan will stop it from collecting too much water in there, and it will keep it at a better heat. So first thing we're going in there with, so from now on we are cooking it. I've having it with a bit of boiled rice, so my rice is already cooked and ready to go. So at this step, once everything's made, it's in the pan and it's quick, like a normal, like any sort of stir fry. It's like rocket hot, bosh, bosh, bosh. First thing we can do, just for a few seconds, oil in the pan, hot, pan's ripping hot. We're going to go in there with the Szechuan peppercorns and our chilli. Really quickly, don't want anything to burn, so keep it all moving. But we're just going to imbibe that oil, infuse that oil with the peppercorn and the chillies. Instantly that should be like quite perfumey. You should be able to smell that peppercorn quickly, easily, almost straight away. Then straight in with that chicken. Break the chicken up a bit because it's probably all stuck together in the pan, in the bowl, because of the cornstarch. I'm just going to keep that all mixed up, coated in that oil, get it all seared off quickly. Keep it moving so nothing burns. Right, so once all that chicken's all seared off and you've not got any bare pink chicken, we're going to go in with the onions and the peppers and the garlic and the ginger. Still keeping everything moving because we don't want anything to burn. Right, once those peppers and the onions are cooking off a bit, we go back in with those peppers. No, they're not peppers, they're peanuts. And I'm going to go in there with our sauce. So now you can turn the pan down a little bit now. Everything's pretty much cooked. So you want to stir to coat everything in that sauce. And then just let the sauce cook through and reduce a little bit. Should be like quite a nice sticky sort of glaze. You can throw everything all over the counter while you're at it as well, you know, just to spice things up a bit. So I've turned it down a little bit now because everything pretty much cooked. I'm just going to let that sauce cook through. That's pretty much it. I'm just going to get a bowl of that and put my rice in the bowl. Look at that, beautiful. Saucy, spicy, sweet and sour, salty, spicy. Just absolutely gorgeous. Just nice with a nice little bit of steamed rice. There you go. Super quick, super easy. Like I said, marinated the chicken for a while, but you can. Doesn't need to be marinated for ages. Just while you're chopping everything else up and making the sauce. Have that chicken just marinating on the side. And there you go. Quick, simple. Ticks all the flavour profiles you're gonna want. A few ingredients that these days aren't that hard to find. Get them off Amazon if you can't get them anywhere else, or other online food retailers. Yeah, there you go. Another quick and simple one, hopefully. Give it a go. Give it a go. Let us know. I'm going to go chow down because I'm starving. But I hope you've all had a good Christmas, Happy New Year, all that sort of stuff. Well, it's not New Year yet, I don't think, when this comes out. It should be coming out. But yeah, all right then. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the jazz. You know the jazz. You know the drill. You know the drill. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the flip side, I guess. Peace.